Yung internet siya nitong ko yun. Yes, hi people, welcome to another Mikey Life program, people. This is where it all happens. We are talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. Tonight we are starting without our Facebook viewers, just for now, because we are having some issues in studio. Well, not with us, but we see that there have been some power problem. So we're going to organize that, all right? Okay, good. So welcome again, folks. All right, folks. So yes, we want to say thank you again. Thank you for. All right. Yes, I thank you very much. That's good. Yeah, right. Good. We're looking good. So we're pretty now. So I want to again say thank you to all the viewers who are currently viewing on the program. Yeah, also meeting on the thing. Yeah, we'll come to that just now. Good. Oh yeah. Today was no ordinary day in Grenada. We had the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Mitchell, who hosted a post-cabinet briefing. And in that event, he spoke a lot about some of the current issues that people are talking about. Yes, some of the current affairs. The Prime Minister spoke about to that. So today, so we're going to talk about that, all right? As well, making the headlines, there are some stolen items in police custody. All right, they conducted a search operation, and so they'd like people to know about these items. All right, and charges laid after drugs were confiscated in St. George. A deadly mosquito-borne virus that causes brain swelling is causing a lot of nervousness. We're going to talk about that. And pastor pleads guilty to sex crimes involving a 12-year-old girl. We're going to talk about that and more. We just experienced a power outage, and so some of our systems are still rebooting. I know that some of the TV stations as well have experienced some issue or the other. There are some parts of Grenada without electricity. We're not sure what has happened, but we'll find out. People, I don't know about all you. Tonight, hot like fire in Grenada. For some reason, the place is extremely hot. If you don't believe in global warming and things like that, I don't know what else you're looking for. The signs are there. The other day we went up to Cloget, and Cloget is usually very cold. It doesn't matter what time of the day, night, or year. You go to Cloget, it is cold. Now we can say that things have changed. Cloget is really hot. Anyway, folks, we're going to talk about that and more when we return on tonight's Mikey Live program. We take a quick break, and when we come back, it will be real news in Audio Lily Lolo. We want to encourage you, if you have not yet done so, to please share the program. When you share the live, that's how other people get to know that we are on. Get ready, because when we come back, is real news. We want to remind you that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of WPG10. We've got WPG10 channels 10 and 11.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Give your kids a new start this term with back-to-school deals from Quartz. Save big with great deals store-wide. Get desktop, laptops, tablets, backpacks, and so much more. Get it all now with Quartz Ready Finance with nothing down and nothing to pay for 30 days. Get a new start back to school with great deals from Quartz, bringing value home.
The third annual Caribbean Comedy Show. Saturday, August 17th at Spice Basket. Stay locked for more.
I own a glass. You see what I've done with it? You want to swear it raise a grass. Look, I am a very, very serious man.
The people say that is the best fete in the carnival. None of them holding secret for me. None of them. The St. Andrews Development Organization, in collaboration with Mr. Elimas Gilbert, say Specky Show 2019 will be a movie. You must wear it. Young man, love the rum shop more than the woman. From Trinidad and Tobago, the Calypsonian who empower women, singing Sandra.
The way you cock up like a bloody acrobat. The wife at home they can't, she can do that.
From St. Vincent, former soccer monarch, Calypso and road match king, Posa. And top Grenadian artist. Stay tuned for more info. For vending, call 404-8131. Becky Show, August 4th, St. Andrews Rainbow City Festival weekend. The color is red.
Grenada, hope you're ready for this one as Exterminator Movement presents Job in the Club. Job in the Club. Going down inside the Tin Shop, Paradise St. Andrew, Saturday, August 3rd. With Grenada's top DJs and artists featuring live, Looney Spark and Electrify, Muddy, Buckwild, Skull Dog, Alma Boy, and Squeezehead. Get your Oliver $20 tickets now. Pay more at the door. Tickets are available from Zay's Bar and Quito in Paradise, Bogo's Barbershop Grenville, Golden Auto and Accessories Grenville, Heather's Boutique St. George, Jason's Bakery in Telescope, Patel La Poetry, Kelly in La Poetry, and any Exterminator family. Action kicks off from 10 p.m. till 10 a.m. And your DJs representing DJ Super, Mixmaster Brent, O2 Sound, 473 Rulers, DJ Brad, DJ Flawless, Exterminator Sound, Soca Lover Steve. So remember, Job in the Club, Saturday, August 3rd, the Tin Shop in Paradise St. Andrew. It's paint, powder, mud, and water. Job in the Club. So link up the team for this one, Mod.
So the time for fetting and having fun is here, but that doesn't mean you have to be an irresponsible parent as you go about it. This carnival season, you can make a difference by keeping a watchful eye on your children, knowing where they are and whom they're with, ensuring they attend age-appropriate events, making sure they're not exposed to dangerous situations or activities involving drugs, alcohol, or sex, and of course, leading by example. Remember, even though it's carnival, your first responsibility is to your child. A message from the Child Protection Authority of Grenada, working in the best interest for the greatest good of the child.
All right, folks. So again, welcome. Those of you who are currently on TV, I'd like to say hello to you. All right. Yeah, boy. It's been a really hot night for whatever reason. And as well, there have been power outage. Our electricity went out for just a few seconds. And it is back, but some people are saying that they do not have electricity. All right. Hold on. Okay, I'm just sending something here. Right. Right. So people, welcome again. And for whatever reason, look at me. Look at me for whatever reason. I'm sweating profusely. Yes. I don't usually have to use AC in the night because it's usually okay. Yeah, but it is just really hot. Not just hot, it is really hot. And I'm somewhat sorry for the people who are not able to view the program right now because they are without electricity. And that's why I seem distracted, because I'm just sending the link to some people. We are not live on our page. We are live on our profile tonight, just for tonight. All right, guys. Good. Okay. So let's get into what's making the news for today. And the first thing I want to talk to all about, boys, is the Prime Minister. He had a press conference today, and he was talking about the economy and so on, and how the economy grew and such, you know. So he had a lot of information about that. You see, Grenada is looking good. He's the Minister for Finance. He said that Grenada's economy remains strong in 2019, with another year of growth being projected. In 2018, the Grenada economy was recognized by the Caribbean Development Bank as the fastest growing economy in the region. Speaking during today's post-cabinet press briefing, Dr. Mitchell said that the tourism and transport sectors appear to be the main drivers of growth, along with continued recovery in the agriculture sector. The construction sector, although not as robust as last year, also continues to be a major source of economic activity and employment in 2019, the Prime Minister says. The Prime Minister also revealed the results of the labor force survey for the third quarter of 2018. It says that the results show a decline in the rate of unemployment from 21.7% to 16.7% in the third quarter of 2018. When questioned about efforts to further reduce unemployment, Dr. Mitchell said that that will be influenced by the level of private sector projects and the training and employment of young people. It says that there are a number of skills training in initiatives underway, and what we expect is that those benefiting from these trainings will then be able to pursue self-employment by starting business ventures. All right, so those were his comments as it relates to the economy. He went on and said a lot of things, but yeah. Today was another event geared at showcasing young people and their talent and ability to address national issues. And we are talking about the youth parliament. People we just came from there. And listen, them young men and women bad for days. They bad like bobo, They bad like sore on your elbow. First they bad. You know what I mean? When you have sore on the elbow, you can't heal. Every time you bend your elbow, you break the scab. Back to square one. I'm telling you, boy, them people bad. They're debating on the issue of the NIS, National Health Insurance, and all those things. You understand? Pension. And they're going around in the various constituencies. And they're doing the business. You understand? So, you have to say good going to them and to whoever is spearheading this. You understand? People, we are moving on. How we're looking for time. Now we like to highlight our young people. And the 18th FINA World Championships came for a close in South Korea. It ended on July 28th. You understand? 3 swimmers represented Grenada's national swim team. Kimberly Ince, Delron Felix, and Kerry Oliver. They each competed in 2 events. Ince, Felix, and Oliver all pulled out very impressive performances in all events they participated in. And folks, we're telling you this because we want to acknowledge that. And like we will always do, say thank you to them for at least, raising we nose. These are things you don't hear all the time. People, I don't know how these things doesn't make news. You understand? But just trust that as long as we hear, you're going to know about these things. You see, not always when a man chap and when you catch drugs and things, you have to tell people about it. You see, but when we are young people doing things like that out there for themselves and for their families and for the nation, why not recognize it? You understand? Why not? You ain't hurting to say how good they do. You understand me? So anyway, congratulations to them. Alright, now Delron Felix secured personal best times in the 100-meter freestyle with a time of 52.8 seconds and in his 50-meter breaststroke in a time of 28.15 seconds, while Kerry Oliver secured 3rd place finishes with excellent swims in the heats of his 50-meter freestyle and breaststroke events. Kimberly Ince secured a personal best time in the 100-meter backstroke with a time of 1.985 seconds, all right, and made an impressive swim in the 50-meter backstroke. So we want to say congratulations to them people. They're doing things for us. You know what I mean? Yes, we're moving on. Now the Grenada Football Association has launched an appeal for funds for age group teams to participate in regional and international competitions. In terms of football engagement, GFA says it's a very active period at this time for both the male and the female national teams. Now, apart from the many competitions that have already taken place, GFS says that upcoming are the CONCACAF Women's Qualifier, 6 home and away games in the CONCACAF Nation League, and the Caribbean Football Union CFA Girls Under 14 tournament. Now, GFS says for the upcoming tournaments, there's a financial strain on the association to meet several of the engagements in terms of the demands that are necessary. Now, they are saying that they have to come up with ways where they can, get funds. They say it's a lot of pressure on them, especially when it relates to travel. In some cases, depending on the requirements and additional trips to Barbados and so on, all these things on them does be a strain on them. Sometimes the players just need visas and so on. So with all these dynamics, yeah, boy, make things hard. So they're looking for, we're going to tell you more about that anyway. Now, the National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, advises consumers served by the Annandale Water System in the parish of St. George that due to urgent system maintenance, you will experience interruption in your water supply tomorrow, God's willing, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. The Annandale Water System serves Annandale, Constantine, New Hampshire, through to River Road and the entire south of the island. Consumers, you are encouraged to collect and store water in clean covered containers prior to the interruption in your supply. And you're also advised that although the system will be reopened at 10 p.m., some, especially those on high elevation, may not receive your water supply until around 2 hours after the scheduled restoration period. Now, the authority says that they want to apologize for any inconvenience that is likely to be caused and would like to thank you for your patience as they work towards the delivery of a safe, adequate, and reliable water supply. Today in the press conference, boy, the Prime Minister addressed the cell phone gate. That's what's making the wrongs right now, boy. All the talk is about the cell phone. And the cell phone and the cell phone. Pam, pam, pam. You remember Randy Campbell sing a song? Dial tone and anyway. He says that everyone needs to take blame for this, but they are working towards a solution.
Phone gate? What? Blame gate? Banderanti. I'm the lucky man in all this, right? Okay, fella. Now, just to say that I think I've spoken on that issue. One thing one has to accept, and maybe my years of experience in this business have taught me, you have to prepare for things not going the right way you want it all the time, on the daily basis. In fact, your own home environment and private life, you know that things happen to you a lot of times. Events around you occur, and you have to be ready to deal with it, not to just mourn over it or complain over it or blame everybody else, but accept your responsibilities, correct it, find solutions, move on. That's the formula for everything, whether it's in your private life, whether it's in sports, whether it's business, political life. That formula will always suit you right. Always examine your role in the what occur first. Never blame the next person first. Look at yourself. Take your blame, and then you examine who else. So the government has accepted full responsibility because we are leading, and all governments in the past, and the numbers and data from previous governments will also be given soon, and you will see what I'm talking about. 2008, 2013, the numbers are something else. So we want everybody to accept their role. I accepted mine, and so on. So we want everybody to accept them. Doesn't make it right, but accept it. And clearly, there's an old saying that no bad breeze blow. When something happens, sometimes it opens your eyes and it gives you to look at not just that issue, but other areas of weaknesses that you may be overlooking. And then you might find out that it will give us an opportunity to assess. I've just come from Ministry of Finance, and that's what I'm saying here. I repeated the same thing there. Guys, look around us and look at the other areas. Look at electricity, look at this, look at that, look at all the things. And ask yourself if we are making sure that we are not wasting taxpayers' money. And
thank you very much, sir. Yeah, boy. I just come for the comments. Let me take a, you know, it will be really interesting to see the comments. Let me take a look at some of the comments. Hold on. Let's see. Going two times. What? Oh yes, I had to share that with you, of course. Now we can move on. I was only here for the comments. Now, there's another talk that's making headline in the country. Another talk regarding the payments of security details for the Prime Minister, or regarding security who gain extra money and all kind of business. All yeah. So the Prime Minister also attempted to clear the air on this. Now here's the question posed and his response.
Or offered some sort of payment. Can you clarify for us what is the arrangement for that?
I'm very glad that this was raised. It's only in Grenada the issue of security becomes an issue all over the ground. Security is a very special thing. And therefore, one should be very careful of any interpretation that special treatment is given to anybody. The security of the Prime Minister, as you know, is a very serious issue. There's a rule in place about public servants and the limits of holiday that they can accrue. I would tell you this, if many of you may not have heard this. There's an ongoing case today where a senior member of the police force went to some persons in my security detail and tell them, what you're doing around the Prime Minister, get away from him. You know what that means? The suggestion is you could interpret it as what you want. Let somebody kill him. In other words, you can put any and anybody around. I am not going to accept. Trump will not accept. No Prime Minister in the region will ever accept any and anybody in the police force around them for the private deal for many different reasons. You can project what they are. So since there is a law in place for limit, not they were brought back in. No, that's not true. It's not true. Leave were accumulated. And all these guys said to, the law says you must take it. I said, no. So when you take it, who's going to protect the Prime Minister? Just pick up anybody anywhere and put them around the Prime Minister? Unless I don't like my life.
But can you specifically speak to, because I understand, or what I'm hearing is that there was some payment arrangement for vacation put in place.
No, I'm coming. You asked my question, I'm coming. All I did was give a preamble, because that's important. Because otherwise, all you hear is about payment. You're not hearing the rationale. Mm-hmm. Now, so I'm saying there's a law. The persons who go in have to go on leave. The exposure to the Prime Minister. I decided I cannot do without these individuals. So the choice was either we pay them and keep them to protect the Prime Minister, or let them go and bring new people around me for 6 months, 9 months, in some cases a year and a half. Well, no way. In other words, this is a decision that I made. No one else must get licks for this. If there is any licks, it must be on the back of the Prime Minister, not the police commissioner. And I don't see, to me, there's no news in this. I heard people was on radio talking about this. I say repeat it several times because it's the right thing to do. It's morally correct and the right thing. Are we going to ask these poor guys, who else, everybody else get their holiday, not to get holidays and to lose it? But let me say this. So each person, I had several members of the police force, when they heard about the decision, came to me, friends of mine, and they wanted, I said, wait, the decision was not to pay people for leaving. The decision was to pay people for those who refuse to allow to go and leave. If you work in the traffic division, they manage themselves. You go on your leave and others come. If you're working with another area of administration in the government, say, the police force, whether it's deputy commissioner or assistant commissioner, somebody else chip in while you're out. There's no major security issue there. I'm talking about the office of the prime minister. So, decision was made by me. And people.
Thank you very much. All right, so we moving on. All you, how we looking? No, the next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, is from the police. Some very interesting things that we have to tell you from the police. The Royal Grenada Police Force. Now, the Royal Grenada Police Force is hereby notifying the public of the following items that were found during a such operation. In fact, they were found during several such operations. The items are believed to be stolen and were taken for investigation purposes and are in custody of the Criminal Investigation Department, South St. George Police Station. Now, in an effort to ascertain ownership of these items, the CID South St. George Police Station is asking persons with proof of ownership to come into the station to identify the following items. 1 32-inch Mastertech television, they buy that in quotes. 1 32-inch TLC TV, they quotes again. 55-inch Samsung television, quotes again. 32-inch Vizio television at Indian store. So all yeah, no, I laughing at but that's a serious matter, boy. Real TV and taking on people are going to open a store. You know your thing? TV for so all yeah. A 32-inch Mastertech TV, a 32-inch TLC TV, a 55-inch Samsung TV, a 32-inch Vizio TV. So police say come and identify it with proof. You understand? Some sort of proof. You know what I mean? Yes, boy. Anyway, let's leave that talk there. We're moving on. Now, as a result of an operation conducted by the officers attached to the drug squad and Coast Guard, 420 pounds of cannabis was seized in the vicinity of Bousséjou St. George on Thursday, 25th July 2019. The following persons were jointly charged in relation to the drugs found for the offenses of trafficking in a controlled drug and conspiracy to trafficking in a controlled drug. Victor Vespri, a 43-year-old of the Carenage, St. George. David Daniel, 28 years of Vendôme in St. George. Kenny Moraine, a 46-year-old of Bousséjou, St. George. Bill Alexander, 23 years of Cherry Hill, St. George. And Jamal Rogers, 37 years. He is a Vincentian national and he's of Kingston Park. An additional charge of importing a controlled drug was laid against David Daniel, Victor Vespri, and Jamal Rogers. They all appeared at the St. George's Magistrates Court on Monday, 29th July 2019. Now, Kenny Moraine and Bill Alexander were granted bail in the sum of $250,000 with two sureties and were ordered to surrender all travel documents, while David Daniel, Victor Vespri, and Jamal Rogers were remanded to Her Majesty's Prison until Friday, 16th August 2019. And that actually was information that was sent in to us by the Royal Grenada Police Force. Now, Grenlec have been advising of a series of outages, and of course they say that they are all planned outages because it's all in an effort to upgrade their system. So on Friday, there will be outages for Fontenoy and Mount Airy, and for Fontenoy, 8:30 a.m. to 12 noon, and St. George's, Mount Airy, 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they say that they apologize for any inconveniences caused. So that will be for Friday, this coming Friday. Olia, let us take a quick break and return with more news right here on Mikey Live.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Grenada, hope you're ready for this one as Exterminator Movement presents Job in the Club. Job in the Club. Going down inside the Tin Shop, Paradise St. Andrew, Saturday, August 3rd. With Grenada's top DJs and artists featuring live, Lunis Park and Electrify, Muddy, Buckwild, Skull Dog, Alma Boy, and Squeezehead. Get your Oliver $20 tickets now. Pay more at the door. Tickets are available from Zay's Bar and Quito in Paradise, Bogo's Barbershop Grenville, Golden Auto and Accessories Grenville, Heather's Boutique St. George, Jason's Bakery in Telescope, Patel La Poetry, Kelly in La Poetry, and Eddie Exterminator Family. Action kicks off from 10 p.m. till 10 a.m. And your DJs representing DJ Super, Mixmaster Brent, O2 Sound, 473 Rulers, DJ Brad, DJ Flawless, Exterminator Sound, Soca Lover Steve. So remember, Job in the Club, Saturday, August 3rd, the Tin Shop in Paradise St. Andrew. It's paint, powder, mud, and water. Job in the Club. So link up the team for this one, Mud.
The people say that is the best fete in the carnival. None of them holding secret for me. None of them. The St. Andrews Development Organization, in collaboration with Mr. Elimas Gilbert, say Specky Show 2019 will be a movie. You must wear it. Some man love the rum more than the woman. From Trinidad and Tobago, the Calypsonian who empower women, singing Sandra.
The way you cock up like a bloody acrobat. The wife at home they can't, she can do that.
From St. Vincent, former Soca Monarch, Calypso, and Road Match King, Hosa. And top Grenadian artists. Stay tuned for more info. For vending, call 404-8131. Becky Show, August 4th, St. Andrews Rainbow City Festival weekend. The color is red.
The 3rd Annual Caribbean Comedy Show. Saturday, August 17th at Spice Basket. Stay locked for more.
I own a cutlass. You see what I done with it? You want to swear it razor grass. Look, I am a very, very serious man.
So the time for fetting and having fun is here, but that doesn't mean you have to be an irresponsible parent as you go about it. This carnival season, you can make a difference by keeping a watchful eye on your children, knowing where they are and whom they're with, ensuring they attend age-appropriate events, making sure they're not exposed to dangerous situations or activities involving drugs, alcohol, or sex, and of course, leading by example. Remember, even though it's carnival, your first responsibility is to your child. A message from the Child Protection Authority of Grenada, working in the best interest for the greatest good of the child.
For the greatest good of the child, they say. Yeah, very interesting, right? Yeah. Now, before, folks, the next thing that I have to tell you about the most deadly creature on Earth is the smallest, the mosquito. Florida health officials are warning of an uptick in a mosquito-borne virus known as EEE. They say they tested chickens positive for, some chickens tested positive for EEE, which can spread to humans via infected mosquitoes and cause brain infections and swelling. The Florida Department of Health in Orange County said in a statement on Thursday last, they said that they tested those chickens and they showed up with the virus. Now they're saying that their blood can show the presence of the disease, but they don't suffer from any effects of the virus. What they are saying is that it can affect humans. You understand? They say that about 7 cases of the EEE virus in humans are reported in the United States each year. You understand? I think they say that about 30% of the people who contract that disease would die. You understand? They say people develop symptoms about 4 to 10 days after they are bitten by an infected mosquito. Now, we do not have any signs of that here in the Caribbean, but it is something for us to take notice of. All right? Oh yeah, there's a serious one, boy. We're moving on. Let's take a trip, fly a plane, take a drone, and go up to Jamaica. According to reports there, after nearly 2 years of denial, Pastor Kenneth Blake has admitted that he repeatedly had sex with a 12-year-old girl who he impregnated. They say Blake pleaded guilty to the offenses of grievous sexual assault, having sex with a person under 16 years old, and sexual touching when he appeared in court. He's a 56-year-old pastor. You understand, people? He was also charged with rape and forcible abduction, but those charges have been withdrawn by the prosecutors, maybe as part of a deal or something. Now they say that he will be sentenced on October 18th, but he has been remanded. You see, the victim, who is now 15 years old, gave birth to a boy on November 30th, 2017. Would you imagine that? They say that the charges were filed after the teen girl after the teen girl gave investigators a detailed statement in which she complained that Blake had sex with her at his St. Andrew home when she was 12 years old. She told the investigators that the first time Blake had sex with her was in 2015. That, she said, happened after the clergyman gave her older sister money to go downtown and buy some things, then forced himself onto her. You understand? So it's like a distraction. Send the big sister, that kind of trick on them. Following this, according to her account, he began giving her gifts to keep her quiet about the sexual encounters. However, everything came to light in August of 2017 after she discovered that she was pregnant and confessed everything to her mother. They say Blake kept denying the accusations, even after 2 DNA tests found that there was a 99.9% chance he could not be excluded as a father. 99.9 chance, But Panama hanging on at that 0.1, Panama say, nah, mine. What happened to the 0.1? I ain't making it up. Pastor Moy saying, so wait. It said 99.9, it didn't say 100. And there's a 0.1% difference between 99.9 and 100%. Pastor say, it's not me that do it. Now they say that the second test was done at the private institute chosen by Blake after he complained that the first test conducted at the government forensic laboratory was tainted. Jano. He insisted in court that the accusations against him were part of an extortion attempt by the child's mother and had volunteered to do the first DNA. Whoa! Boy, this boy in my belly, your belly like snake. He said the man volunteered the test, you know. You're telling me? So they say for years, me partner deny pastor, you know, dirty boy. Anyway, let leader talk. You know what I mean? 12 years, you know, what you could get from a 12 years? It's like trying to drink a coconut or just bust a little thing. What you get from that? You know what I mean? Where you get from that? But I don't know how man nasty, so no. Yeah, some of them want to see the girl grow up, you know. Miss me ain't bluffing and saying nothing, eh? But see, if I see a girl grow up, that's worse than anything else, you know. You see her grow up, running up and down in place without thing and thing, you know what I mean? You see them running up all along the place, and still going to interfere them. I don't care if you could be 20, 25, 30 after that. Once I see you growing up, NASA. I ain't making it up. I see you grow up. No, thank you. You understand? How do you reprogram or rewire your brain from seeing a young, like a cute, little darling growing up in the community to have sexual feelings? How do you rewire that? I know how the brain works. You're mad, boy. Hey, me tell you, listen, God made no mistake when he designed man, you know. And any man that have them kind of dirty tendency, they ain't a man. Maniku. You know what I mean? Like maniku. Any man who interferes in the daughter, he can't be normal. And you have to have a special jail for them. Because to interfere with somebody who see growing up in the community is one thing, you know. But then, to interfere with your own daughter, that's a different kind of madness. You see, let me lead that talk, you know what I mean? Because we had a national report. So let me go to the national report, we will talk that talk another time.
Prime Minister says Grenada economy remains strong and another year of growth is projected. Details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, July 30th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, says the Grenada economy remains strong in 2019 with another year of growth being projected. In 2018, the Grenada economy was recognized by the Caribbean Development Bank as the fastest growing economy in the region. Speaking during Tuesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Dr. Mitchell said, and I quote, "The tourism and transport sectors appear to be the main drivers of growth, along with continued recovery in the agriculture sector," unquote. The Prime Minister added that the construction sector, although not as robust as last year, continues to be a major source of economic activity and employment in 2019. Dr. Mitchell also revealed the results of the labor force survey for the third quarter of 2018. He says the results show a decline in the rate of unemployment from 21.7% to 16.7% in the third quarter of 2018. When questioned about efforts to further reduce unemployment, Dr. Mitchell said that will be influenced by the level of private sector projects and the training and empowerment of young people. On the issue of public debt, he revealed that at the end of June 2019, total public debt stood at 59.5% of GDP, compared with the 108% that existed in 2013 when the current administration first resumed office.
Which is $1.924 billion, which marks a decrease of 4.4% from the same period in 2018, where the public debt recorded at 63.9% of GDP, which was $2.0215 billion.
The Prime Minister also noted that the number of projects currently underway and those set to come on stream represent a clear indication of private sector confidence in the local economy.
We've announced and it's on track. The Range project, 100 rooms, 6 cents resort at La Sagesse in St. David's. And that project is expected to be launched on the 23rd of August, which is very soon, 2019. And it's over $300 million in investment and employment, of course. And what is good about this, it's in the rural portion in St. David's. And there will be a 240 hotel room luxury resort encompassing 3 properties at True Blue. This is Homer Limited project with an investment over $60 million, and it's carded for implementation in 2019.
Shared responsibility to address disaster management. That is the commitment of government and disaster management officials who are meeting here for 2 days in the annual stakeholders consultation at the National Stadium. The consensus is that all sectors must work together to improve disaster resilience to become more effective. Minister with responsibility for disaster management and information, Senator Winston Garwe, says despite our strengths, Grenada is prone to disasters, and the impact on our economies remind us of the need to pay attention to action-based resilience and responsibility sharing.
Our new focus is on shared responsibility, one where political leaders, governments, business, the churches, community leaders, and the non-profit sector all adopt increased or improved disaster management and advisory roles and contribute to achieving integrated and coordinated disaster resilience through information sharing. In turn, our communities, individuals, and households need to take greater responsibility for their own safety and act on information, advice provided before, during, and after a disaster.
Mrs. Roxy McLeish Hutchinson, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, says we need to empower individuals to be more self-reliant and prepared to take responsibility for the risks that we face.
A disaster-resilient community is one that works together to understand and manage the risk that it confronts. Disaster resilience is a collective responsibility of all the sectors in our society, including all levels of government, business, non-government sectors, and individuals. If all of these sectors work together with a united focus and a shared sense of responsibility to improve disaster resilience, they will be far more effective than the individual efforts of one sector. We cannot do it alone. Working together also and drawing on the expertise and capacity of various partners produces far greater results than individual efforts. Partnerships across and within governments, businesses, non-profit organizations, and the community will create a well-informed, integrated, and coordinated approach to increasing disaster resilience, and the result will be a more resilient nation.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Every summer, the Spice Island of Grenada is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man.
Well, foreigners from all over, coming down to Grenada.
Come experience the warmth of our people, trending theme fats, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and the Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest juve in the world. Followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13th. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8th to 12th for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
Continuing the news, Grenada's Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, has described the late Dr. Winston Thomas as an example worthy of emulation. At the start of Tuesday's post-cabinet press briefing, the Prime Minister recognized Dr. Thomas for his 2 decades of service to the public health care system in Grenada. He said, and I quote, "Dr. Thomas has given selfless service in the healing and health of so many of our citizens throughout Grenada," unquote. Dr. Thomas was described by all who knew him as a selfless individual who dedicated many years of service to the people of Grenada through his medical practice. In reflecting on his contributions, Dr. Mitchell said many health practitioners return and open private practice, but that was not the case with Dr. Thomas.
Dr. Thomas is one of the unique ones who gave his entire service without a private practice to the service of providing health care for all the citizens of this country, without exception. It is well known that he had very strong political views, but not always consistent with mine. But one thing I can say about him, in the process of doing this, he never allowed his politics to interfere with his profession. And that is something, I think, a message, a legacy that I think he would have left, hopefully, with all of us.
Dr. Winston Thomas died in Cuba over the weekend, where he was receiving medical treatment. 997 vehicular accidents recorded by the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force for the period January to May 2019, with 5 fatalities, 43 involving serious bodily harm to occupants and 132 with minor injuries. During the government's weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday, facilitated by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, he expressed concern about the increased number of vehicular accidents on the nation's roads involving motorists from all strata of society.
Whether it's private vehicles, trucking activity or bus-related activities, they all must be of serious concern, because you're talking about the safety of the drivers, the passengers, and the people of the country. So the police has been looking at all aspects. The traffic division has been upgraded in every aspect. They've been given tools, and of course, they're looking at implementing areas of technology that can, in fact, empower them to help us in dealing with this vexing problem.
Dr. Mitchell says the insurance companies are beginning to feel the effects of the increased number of vehicular accidents. The Traffic Department of the RGPF has already put systems in place to ensure increased patrols and road stops to help in the reduction of vehicular accidents. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Alrighty, goody. How are we looking for time? Alright, thank you very much, Leslie. And for that, we have to take a look at the weather as well. Well, I don't need to look at the weather. I can just say what it is. The place hot. Although it seems, on paper, it seems normal. It says here 28 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature tonight, again, seems normal, 26 degrees Celsius. And the humidity, 89%. Wind, 10 kilometers per hour. Precipitation, 10%. And that's generic weather, right? But it feels different here. It feels like we're going to die. We're going to die. It's hot. It's hot. So I'm telling you, it's hot. You know, I'm going to die. Anyway, folks, that's as much as we can talk to you for tonight, because time has run out. Big up to the people in Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Antigua, Barbuda, everywhere in the Caribbean tuned into WPG10. We want to say thank you for joining us, and folks, we are going to have another program for you guys tomorrow, God's willing. Tomorrow we're going to be on our regular page. I see somebody talking to me about some ad I will check email. I didn't see any ads, so you probably will need to resend whatever it is to me. All right. Okay, good. What else we have to tell you about? Okay, now I see. All right. Okay, all right. So let's say hello to Ezran, Kireen, Sharon, Ketura, Camille. We have Noreen, Zaka, Mishi. Who else is on the program, boy? Everybody on the program. Suzette and everyone else. Eugenia. Y'all we're gonna go back to our page tomorrow, right? We just had to go on our profile for tonight. Okay. What else do I have to tell you? Remember, you can check out our website for more news, MikeyLive.com. If you missed anything, you can go back to our website and get it, all right? MikeyLive.com. We have everything that you can think about happening on our website, MikeyLive.com. Folks, that's as far as you can go. I want to thank you and say God bless you and your family. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja, no. Good night, everyone.